This is on the topic of hiring. I've heard this from different people. I've seen it happen to myself personally. It is that when you hire someone, one of the patterns I've observed is that somebody leaves a company and then the boss who kind of goes back in and picks things up is like, oh, wow, like there are some things that were not quite being done how I would have liked. It's interesting that I think 99% of the time, when we hire people, we're not really that thorough about, okay, what are the KPIs that let me know that this person is on target with X, Y, and Z? I think a lot of times as small business owners, we are kind of looking at the big picture. And if like overall revenue is moving in the right direction, then we're kind of like, okay, cool. And there's no like major problems. Nothing's on fire. We're like, okay, cool. Right. So it's almost like if things are going well, you could have a particular person who you hire who, things going well in general could potentially sort of mask problems that you could have with, an individual person. It kind of blows me away the extent to which when we hire people, we don't always know exactly what they're doing, and we don't have a lot of good metrics on how to know what's going on. And these things can happen for a really long time. Like I've talked to people who are like, oh yeah, like I looked into what was going on. This person was like very unproductive or very X, Y, and Z for like a year, and it's like, wow, it's like you would think people would catch that earlier. If things are going well overall, you could have a given person who is having some significant, possibly negative impacts on the business or just not a lot of productivity, and you might just not see it at all for like a long time. So I think that to the extent that you can have good systematic way of, measuring productivity, I think that's one of the keys to remote is that like, instead of like, is the button the seat? It's about what's the output we're looking for? What are the KPIs that we're looking for and really focusing on those and tracking those. So I think there's some overlap there, but yeah, I mean, for to the extent we can key in on what are the KPIs for, each person we hire and keep an eye on them, I think that'd be great.